Hello students, this is Faisal, your teacher talking, and I'm coming to you live from social distancing, quarantine I guess, here to talk about what's going on with Grade 11 University over at Emory Adult Learning Center. So, I have some information for you right now, but probably not as much as you will be hoping for, because things are sort of up in the air. There was a meeting today of all the teachers, and I have some information, but a lot of things were, well, not settled. So, let's start with the obvious bits. First of all, when do classes resume, or will they at all? My answer to that is I don't know. So, I was told, we definitely know that April 6th, there's no class, right? There's not going to be a resumption of class at that time. That's way too early. The whole thing with this coronavirus thing is that we do have to practice social distancing, and the only way that we're going to get this thing under control is if we, well, stay apart from each other and don't let it spread and overwhelm our healthcare system. I know this is a scary time, but we should know that Canada, I mean, we're not the best country in the world in terms of this, right? Singapore, Taiwan, and South Korea have done a much better job of containing the virus than we have, but Canada is, so far, not doing as badly as we could be. We're certainly not the United States, which is just, being ravaged at this point, and, those guys are in a lot of trouble. We're doing pretty okay, but we have to continue our social distancing until, such time as we're ready again to come together. So how long that's going to take, no one knows at this point, right? And let's not pretend otherwise. So, class is not going to resume until the medical authorities say it can resume. Now, that does not mean that the school is completely cancelled and that you're not going to get your credit. Because one thing that was clear from the meeting today is we are going to finish the quad, right? I'll put that right there in my little notes thing. We are going to finish this quad one way or the other. Now, how that's going to happen is still a bit up in the air. Some ideas thrown around are maybe we're going to do a final assessment through email or through some online capacity. Maybe, that's possible. It's also possible that the schools will be opened again, maybe at the end of April or early May. That's possible too, and maybe you'll come back and do an exam at that point. Right now, the board has not made that decision yet, and, basically what I was told at the meeting is, yeah, we're still figuring that out. So that puts me in an awkward situation, because I don't really know how to plan if I don't even know what our destination is going to be. So for now, we're going to do what we can. So let's go to the next question here. You're probably wondering, okay, if the course is going to finish and we're going to have a final assignment or an exam, well, when is it, first of all? That's probably the first question you're going to have. And what will it be? So the when part is, unfortunately, I don't know. They said they have not decided on when Quad 3 will end. It's possible that they're going to extend Quad 3 straight into May, for all we know. So, that is something that's up in the air, and, well, there's not much we can do about that. But what we can at least say is, what is this thing going to be? So, what you're going to be given is a Macbeth essay, right? And it's originally going to be that in-class essay, right? 2 hours, you come in, write the essay, and then you're done. That is probably not going to happen unless the schools reopen it in May or late April or whatever, which, I don't know, I'd be a little surprised if that happened at this point, but we'll see. But, things change day by day with this thing. But the essay is therefore going to have to be something you submit to me online, probably through turnitin.com, and we're going to do it that way. Now, what this essay's topics will be and how you're supposed to do it, I will tell you as I learn more myself, right? Believe me, there's nothing I would like more than be able to tell you right now, okay, it's going to be due on this day, and, it'll be this amount of words or whatever it is. But right now I don't know enough to tell you that. So, I've been thinking about what we should do. And at this point, I feel, alright, we can't really talk about our final exam, but we can maybe do some other things. The first thing I'm going to do is, starting hopefully this Monday, I'm going to be beginning to post some videos about just Macbeth, right? So sort of the same thing I would be doing in class, talking about specific quotes and scenes and everything like that. I will start to do that on Monday, right? So I am a bit new to the video thing. I know how to make them, obviously, but I'm not 100% expert on this kind of thing. I'm still learning things, so bear with me, but I will attempt to do that starting on Monday. Now, you guys should listen to those videos, and I hope that you're reading Macbeth. Maybe some of you have finished Macbeth, but I hope that, at the very least, I hope you haven't lost Macbeth, right? I hope you still have those books. But what I would like you to do for Monday is just read through Act 3 of the play, and then I will be discussing that on Monday. The other thing I'd like you to do is, if you guys have a moment, I would like you guys to shoot me an email, right? And I've got 2 questions for you guys. The first question, which I would ask you, is how comfortable would you each be submitting a video to me online? So let's say I asked you all to, I don't know, give me a brief presentation online about Macbeth, right? About some theme for Macbeth, right? Who's responsible for Duncan's murder or something like that. Could you take your phone, record yourself talking about Duncan for, I don't know, 5 minutes, and put it on YouTube or someplace where I could see it? And, would that be something that you're able to do, right? Using your phone or your computer or whatever it is. Sort of like what I'm doing now. Or would that be more or less impossible for you? So be honest, right? If you don't know how to do that, then just say so, right? I'm just sort of trying to think of what are my options here for finishing this quad, right? You might remember that there was supposed to be a Macbeth test. I don't see any way to do that now, but, we got to do something here. The other idea I had is, you might remember that your CPT was going to be online, or going to be in-person seminars. How many of you are comfortable doing an online seminar, right? There are ways we could do that. It would take a phone or a computer, but if we used a program like Zoom or Google Meets or your Discord, we would be able to probably put that together fairly well. And you know what? If there's anything else you want to ask me about coronavirus, about what's going on with the school, that's fine too. So shoot me an email, faisal.ahmed@tdsb.on.ca, and tell me what you're thinking about those 2 questions. And that would be a good way also, by the way, for me to tell if, anyone's using my website and if you guys are still okay out there. So shoot me that email if you can, and, let's try to continue to practice social distancing. Let's try to, not go crazy as we sit alone at home or are stuck at home. Obey the instructions of medical professionals. Wash your hands if you interact with the outside world. And don't hoard toilet paper, right? Very important. And yeah, that's about all I have to say. I wish that I were talking to a classroom of students now instead of a camera, but here we are. It's an unusual situation, and I want you guys to know this class is at least going to finish. I don't know what's going to happen with Quad 4. I don't know when this quad is even going to end, but I want you to know that I respect your work. I respect the fact that you guys are trying to get an education even in this difficult circumstance, and one way or the other, we're going to get through this, okay? So, Oh, and one last thing before I sign off, actually. You probably want your essays back. I understand the first essay. So I talked to the vice principal about that today, and I was actually told don't give the students any grades. So I don't really understand why, right? I mean, I was thinking I'd just photograph them with my phone and show you my comments and your grades. But, well, that's what the VP said. So I will give you your essays back, the last essay, the one about the X-Colored Man. Those will be given back when I'm allowed to give them back. When that will be, I don't know. So, stay safe out there, guys, and I will post another video on Monday.